Hello, and welcome to this spiritual journey with channel name. Have you ever noticed how a certain person keeps appearing in your mind, even though you've tried so hard to let them go? It could be a former partner, a colleague, or even a family member who left a deep mark on your heart. Why do they linger in your thoughts, refusing to leave? Today, we will explore 9 profound reasons from Zen Buddhism that will not only help you understand why this happens, but also show you how to free your mind from these haunting thoughts. These reasons, drawn from the timeless teachings of the Buddha and great Zen masters, are not just ancient wisdom. They are practical tools for modern life. And stay with us until the 9th reason, because it might completely change the way you see your own mind. If you've ever felt trapped by memories, or carried the weight of someone who no longer belongs in your life, this journey could be the beginning of your liberation. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you won't miss the next step in your spiritual path. 1. Attachment is the root of suffering. The first insight from Zen Buddhism is this: obsessive thoughts often grow from attachment, not love. As the Buddha taught, attachment is the root of suffering. Think about that for a moment. When you cannot stop thinking about someone, it may not be because of pure affection. It may be because you have tied your happiness to them. You might be longing for their approval, craving their love, or even holding on to resentment and revenge. In each case, your mind becomes chained to an outcome you desperately want but cannot control. And that is where suffering begins. Zen invites us to pause and ask, when I think of this person, do I feel peace? Or do I feel anxiety? That simple question is like a mirror. If what you feel is anxiety, then it is not love, it is attachment. Love is spacious, free, and peaceful. Attachment is heavy, restless, and full of grasping. Imagine a butterfly landing on your hand. If you hold it gently, you can enjoy its beauty. But if you squeeze it, you crush it. That is the difference between love and attachment. Now, how do we begin to release this grip? The practice is mindfulness. When a thought about this person arises, notice it without judgment. Say to yourself, this is just a thought. Watch it come, watch it stay for a while, and then watch it leave like a cloud drifting across the sky. In the beginning, this practice feels difficult. Your mind will want to cling. But every time you return to observing instead of grasping, you weaken the chain of attachment. Step by step, the mind learns that peace is possible without control. A Zen master once said, "Don't chase the butterfly. Sit quietly, and it may come to rest on your shoulder." In the same way, when you let go of chasing people in your thoughts, true peace finds its way back to you. And here is a simple practice you can try today. Take 5 minutes, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. When thoughts of that person arise, don't push them away. Instead, silently say, "I see you. You are just a thought. You are not me." This creates space between you and the thought. Over time, this space grows into freedom. Remember, attachment is not love. Attachment is a cage. Love opens the door. 2. Unfinished karma. In Buddhism, karma is not a punishment. It is a teacher. Every encounter, every relationship carries a lesson. When a person refuses to leave your thoughts, it may be because the karmic lesson between you and them has not yet been completed. Think of karma like a circle. Until the circle is closed, your mind keeps returning, searching for resolution. Perhaps a relationship ended in betrayal, and the wound of anger remains. Or maybe you walked away with guilt, leaving words unsaid, apologies unspoken. These unfinished energies pull you back, again and again, like a river current that has not yet found the sea. Zen teaches that every person who enters your life is a teacher. Some teach through kindness, others through challenge. The question is not, why is this person haunting me? The question is, what is this person teaching me? It could be forgiveness. It could be compassion. It could be learning how to let go with grace. If the lesson remains unlearned, the thought remains unfinished. Imagine carrying a stone in your pocket. You forget it's there, but the weight follows you. Only when you take it out, look at it, and decide what to do with it, can you finally walk freely. In the same way, acknowledging and completing the karmic lesson frees your mind. One powerful practice is metta meditation, also known as loving-kindness meditation. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and repeat these words. May I be at peace. May they be at peace. May all beings be at peace. At first, it feels difficult, especially if pain or resentment still lingers. But over time, these words soften the hardness inside you. The unfinished karma begins to dissolve. Modern psychology supports this ancient wisdom. Studies show that practicing compassion reduces stress, anxiety, and intrusive thoughts. By sending kindness even to those who hurt you, you release yourself from the chain of resentment. So the next time someone keeps circling in your mind, instead of asking, why won't they leave? Try asking, what lesson is still waiting here? When you learn the lesson, the circle closes, and peace, at last, can return. 3. The projection of the hidden self. Zen Buddhism and modern psychology both agree on this. We often project the hidden parts of ourselves onto others. When you cannot stop thinking about someone, it may not be about who they are. It may be about the parts of yourself you have not yet faced. Imagine you admire someone's confidence. You replay their words, their presence, their boldness in your mind. Deep down, that obsession may be pointing to your own longing for confidence. Or, if you feel irritated by someone's arrogance, it may reflect the arrogance you fear or deny within yourself. Zen asks a simple but powerful question. What is it about this person that stirs me? The answer is rarely about them. It is about you. The mind is like a mirror. Others are the reflections showing you what you have hidden, what you have rejected, or what you secretly desire to grow. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, called this the shadow. It is the part of us we push away, but it doesn't disappear. It appears in the faces and actions of those around us. That is why some people live in your mind, rent-free. They are showing you a piece of yourself you need to meet. A recent Harvard study in 2023 found that acknowledging suppressed emotions can reduce psychological stress by up to 40%. Science is confirming what Zen has known for centuries. When you face what you hide, peace begins to return. Here is a practice. Each night, write in a journal. Choose one person who lingers in your thoughts. Write down the qualities that stand out. Then ask, where does this quality live in me? You may be surprised. The irritation may be a call to heal. The admiration may be a call to grow. Zen reminds us, when you reclaim these hidden parts, the obsession begins to fade. Because the person was never the problem. The hidden self was calling for your attention. 4. The illusion of fixed expectations. When someone occupies your thoughts, it is often because you are clinging to a fixed expectation. You want a certain outcome, reconciliation, recognition, or perhaps revenge. The mind locks itself onto that imagined ending, replaying scenes and possibilities over and over. But Zen Buddhism teaches that suffering comes not from what happens, but from the way we cling to what we think should happen. Expectations are like cages. They trap the mind in a narrow vision, closing it off to the flow of life. Zen encourages us to cultivate what is called the beginner's mind. This is a mind that meets each moment fresh, without clinging to stories about the past or demands for the future. Instead of asking, "When will they finally see my worth?" the beginner's mind asks, "What is here, right now?" Take the story of Sarah, a 5-year-old woman from the United States. After her divorce, she spent years trapped in obsessive thoughts about her ex-partner. She imagined apologies that never came, reunions that never happened. Each expectation became another chain around her heart. But when Sarah began practicing daily mindfulness, focusing on her breath and her body, she discovered a new truth. Peace was available in the present, not in some future outcome. She learned to see each day not as a continuation of her old story, but as a blank page. Slowly, the weight of expectation lifted. We all carry our own Sarah stories. We hold on to how things should have been, or how we demand they must be. But Zen whispers, drop the story, return to the breath, begin again. Here is a practice. For the next 3 days, choose one moment each day to pause and ask yourself, am I living in expectation, or am I meeting this moment fresh? Write down what you notice. You may find that letting go of expectation opens doors you never saw before. When you release fixed expectations, you also release the person tied to them. And in that release, the mind breathes freely once more. 5. Identification with thoughts. One of the core teachings of Zen is this: you are not your thoughts. Yet so often we forget. When the mind says, I miss them, we believe it is the whole truth of who we are. But in reality, it is only a passing cloud. The problem begins when we identify with the thought. We merge with it, wear it like a mask, and let it shape our reality. Each identification strengthens the obsession. The more you repeat, I miss them, the more the thought grows roots in your mind. Zen practice invites us to take one step back. Instead of saying, I miss them, say, there is a thought of missing them. This small shift creates a powerful distance. Suddenly, you are no longer trapped inside the thought. You are the observer, watching it arise and dissolve. Imagine the sky on a summer day. Clouds drift by, some heavy and dark, others light and soft. The sky does not cling to them. It allows them to come and go. In the same way, your mind is the sky. Your thoughts are only clouds. This perspective is liberating. You do not have to fight the thought. You only need to see it for what it is: a temporary visitor. When you stop identifying with it, the visitor loses its power over you. Here is a practice. The next time a thought about someone arises, pause. Say silently, a thought is here. Notice its texture: heavy, light, painful, or restless. Then, imagine it floating away like a cloud. Return to your breath. Even 5 minutes of this practice can shift the way you experience the mind. Zen masters remind us, thoughts are guests. Do not mistake them for the host. You are the host. You are the spacious awareness that remains untouched. When you stop identifying with thoughts, the obsession begins to dissolve naturally. And in that clarity, the freedom of the true self shines through. 6. The illusion of permanence. Buddhism teaches that all things are impermanent. Everything changes. Everything passes. Nothing lasts forever. Yet when someone fills our mind, we often fall into the illusion that these feelings will stay forever. We think, I will never stop missing them, or this pain will never end. That is the illusion of permanence. Zen reminds us with a simple truth. This too shall pass. Just as seasons shift, as leaves fall, as rivers flow, so too will your thoughts and emotions. The storm of obsession may feel endless, but no storm lasts forever. A study from Stanford University in 2024 showed that when people practiced reflecting on impermanence, their obsessive thoughts decreased by nearly 30%. Science is catching up with what the Buddha taught centuries ago. Impermanence is not something to fear, but something to trust. Think of autumn leaves falling to the ground. Each leaf is beautiful, but it does not cling to the tree. It falls when the time is right, returning to the earth. Your thoughts are the same. They come, they stay for a time, and then they go. Here is a simple practice. For 7 days, keep a short journal of your emotions. Write down how you feel about the person at different times of the day. At the end of the week, look back. You will see that no feeling lasted the same way. Some were softer, some stronger, but none were permanent. Zen says, the only constant is change. When you remember this, you no longer fear the weight of the present moment, because you know, like clouds, it will drift away. By embracing impermanence, you begin to release the grip of obsession, and in that release, you discover peace. 7. Unfinished spiritual tasks. In Zen, some people appear in our lives not as accidents, but as part of our spiritual tasks. They arrive to challenge us, to awaken us, or to guide us toward growth. When someone stays in your mind, it may be because their role in your spiritual journey is not yet complete. Think of them not as obstacles, but as teachers. Perhaps they are showing you the need to forgive. Perhaps they are pushing you to discover patience. Or maybe they are the mirror reflecting your deepest fears and insecurities. Whatever the case, their presence is not random. It is purposeful. Consider John, an engineer from California. For years, he was haunted by thoughts of a colleague who had wronged him. He carried anger, resentment, and bitterness. But through meditation and reflection, John realized this colleague was his spiritual teacher. The lesson was forgiveness. When John practiced forgiveness, not approval, not forgetting, but releasing the poison of hatred, he felt lighter. The colleague's image began to fade from his thoughts. Zen asks us to shift our perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" This change turns suffering into wisdom and obsession into growth. Here is a practice. Sit quietly and bring the person to mind. Ask, what lesson might they be offering me? Do not force the answer. Simply hold the question in your heart. Over time, clarity will emerge. Zen masters remind us, the teacher appears when the student is ready. If someone remains in your thoughts, it may be because the lesson is still waiting. When the task is complete, the mind naturally releases them. The obsession fades, and you step further along your spiritual path. 8. The power of compassion. One of the most powerful tools in Zen practice is compassion. Not just compassion for others, but compassion for yourself. When someone lingers in your mind, your first instinct might be to fight it, to push them away. But Zen suggests something different. Embrace the practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. In this practice, you send kind wishes not only to yourself, but to the person you cannot stop thinking about. You silently say, "May I be at peace. May they be at peace. May all beings be at peace." At first, this may feel impossible. You might resist the idea of wishing peace for someone who caused you pain. But with each repetition, the hardness softens. A 2022 study from UCLA found that compassion meditation reduced negative emotions in relationships by 35%. The science shows what Zen has always known. When you radiate compassion, you heal not only the other, but yourself. Think of compassion as light. When you turn on a light in a dark room, the darkness does not fight back. It simply disappears. Compassion works the same way. The darkness of obsession cannot survive in the presence of loving kindness. Here is a practice. For 1 week, spend 10 minutes each day practicing metta meditation. Begin with yourself. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be free. Then extend the same wish to the person who fills your thoughts. Finally, extend it to all beings. Notice how your heart feels after 7 days. Zen reminds us, true compassion is not weakness. It is strength. It is the power that frees both you and the other. When you choose compassion, the grip of obsession loosens. And in that opening, joy quietly returns. 9. Transforming suffering into awakening. The final reason is perhaps the most profound. Every obsessive thought is an opportunity for awakening. Zen teaches that suffering is not just a burden, it is a teacher. Instead of fighting against the thoughts that haunt you, you can bow to them, thank them, and let them guide you toward freedom. Thich Nhat Hanh, the beloved Zen master, once said, "No mud, no lotus." The lotus, a symbol of enlightenment, grows only in muddy water. In the same way, your suffering, your obsessive thoughts are the mud. Without them, the lotus of awakening cannot bloom. Imagine for a moment that every painful memory, every restless thought, is not your enemy, but your guide. Each one is pointing you inward, asking you to awaken. When you stop resisting and start listening, the obsession transforms into wisdom. Here is a practice. The next time a painful thought arises, instead of pushing it away, place your hand gently on your heart. Whisper, "Thank you, teacher." This simple act changes the relationship. The thought is no longer a chain. It becomes a doorway. Zen reminds us, without suffering, there can be no awakening. Without the mud, there is no lotus. So, the next time someone refuses to leave your mind, remember this. They may not be your curse. They may be your catalyst for awakening. When you embrace suffering as a teacher, you transform pain into wisdom, obsession into clarity, and bondage into freedom. Dear friend, thank you for walking with us on this journey through the 9 Zen reasons why someone may linger in your mind. We have seen that obsessive thoughts are not enemies. They are teachers. They arise from attachment, from unfinished karma, from hidden parts of the self, from expectations and illusions. And yet, each reason also carries a doorway to freedom. When you observe your thoughts without judgment, when you remember impermanence, when you discover compassion, and when you allow suffering to guide you toward awakening, peace returns. The mind is no longer a battlefield. It becomes a garden, where even the weeds of obsession can nourish the lotus of enlightenment. I want to invite you to begin today. Start with one small practice, mindfulness, compassion, or simply pausing to breathe. You will discover that liberation is not far away. It is already within you, waiting. And now, a heartfelt invitation. Subscribe to this channel so you can continue walking this spiritual path with us. Share this video with a friend who might be carrying the weight of someone in their mind. And join our 7-day meditation challenge, just a few minutes each day, but enough to begin transforming your life. Before we part, I ask you to reflect. Which of the 9 reasons spoke to you the most? Write it in the comments. Your insight may inspire someone else who is watching. Until we meet again in the next video, may you be safe, may you be peaceful, may you be free. Namaste.